Hi YouTube, my name is TJ and I just want to do a video vlog of my journey into becoming a vegan slash vegetarian. Right now I'm only at the vegetarian stage because I am still addicted to Parmesan cheese and that's been really hard to let go of. So just so you know, I'm by no means an expert or a doctor or a dietitian or any of those things. I just wanted to share my journey in case anybody else is curious about it. There's all kinds of, stuff and information going around about juicing and cleansing and veganism and vegetarianism, and most of it is all based around weight loss. How much weight can I lose? And that's usually everybody's really big thing for going on one of these so-called diets or whatever. I know becoming a vegetarian or vegan will be a lifestyle change. I'm not doing it to lose weight. It will be great because I know that is one of the side effects of having a plant-based diet, but that's not why I'm doing it. So anyways, I'm going to upload videos, and it'd be great if you would join me and let me know if it's something you're thinking about doing, or if you have any questions on how I really got started. But a quick little rundown here. I actually started my journey in becoming a vegetarian a couple months ago. It was kind of by happenstance. Starting in February of 2015. I had to write all this stuff down because I can't just remember everything right off the top of my head. So anyways, I started by cutting out junk food, processed food, fast food was a big one. Don't get me wrong, every once in a while I totally caved. But I would try to limit it to at least once or twice a week. And not like all day, every day, I was eating out probably 2 or 3 times, even maybe twice a day there for a little while. I do have a decent metabolism somewhere under all of my extra fluff, but right now it's pretty bogged down with all the bad stuff I've put into it. So I also was cutting out, and mind you, I was doing this in small sections. I didn't just do everything all at once because I've tried to do that before and I end up binge eating. I can't do everything all at once, and I know I can't, so I've stopped doing that. I got rid of, my big one was Taco Bell. I got rid of Taco Bell first, and then other fast foods. I wasn't really interested in eating any other fast food, so after I got rid of my Taco Bell, then that was okay, and then I started moving on to the next thing. As for like junk food, I got rid of chocolate, and then when I was okay with that, I moved on to the next thing, and so on. So chips, dips, ice cream, cookies, crackers, and I also cut down on my meat intake. And the reason I did that is because I noticed every time, and dairy, meat and dairy, every time I ate those 2 things, I would end up getting a stomach ache within about an hour of eating my dinner. Even if I just had a small portion, I would get a stomach ache, and inevitably I would get up at 2 or 3 in the morning when I had to get up with the baby and have a massive stomach ache. And let me tell you what, trying to feed a baby with a massive stomach ache is not fun, and I didn't enjoy that. So I started cutting out that because I noticed the more I cut out meat and dairy, the better I felt. And it was all meat, chicken, turkey. I'm not a big fan of chicken and turkey anyways. I do like my beef, but the more I cut those out, the better I started feeling. Basically, I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I wish I could say that I transitioned into this whole thing because I want to be noble and not, sacrifice any little animals anymore, but that's not quite the case. I totally did it for a selfish reason. That's because I feel like crap. I want to feel better, and so that's how my journey kind of started there. So I started slowly substituting things, like for example, if our family was having a chicken for dinner with salad, I would just, instead of having the chicken, I would make this huge gourmet salad. I would have all the romaine lettuce and add in stuff like my favorite stuff, like I love to have mushrooms in salad, and I love to have peas, like snow peas, sugar peas. I don't know why, it's just so good to me. So I would add those in there, and then I really felt like I was living large. And then there would be sometimes when after dinner I felt like, it's not that I was hungry. I wasn't hungry. I was totally full, but my mind kept saying, "No, you're not done. You have to eat the chicken. You have to eat meat. Meat's good for you. Meat's protein. You have to eat it." And so I would cave in and I would eat the meat, and then of course I would get the stomach ache and then the massive indigestion, and it's like, man, why did I do that? So I stopped, doing that, and instead I substitute things. So I'll do that big gourmet salad of whatever I think. The other night, one of my all-time favorite meals that I make is smothered green chili burritos. Well, not burritos, chimichangas is what they are. They're store-bought chimichangas. And then I lay them on a bed of, really good, healthy romaine lettuce salad mix. And then, the chimichanga, everybody's going to get hungry. But anyways, smother them in green chili, and of course, smother them with cheese, because you can't have cheese. You can't not have cheese on a smothered burrito. So anyways, the other night it was a great test. I set out my schedule in advance, so I know that this is what I'm going to be making. So what am I going to do for me to substitute for that? So instead, what I did was I got 2 nice-sized portobello mushrooms, and what I did was I diced them up, and I didn't fry them, I sauteed them, there you go. I sauteed them, and then I had a huge amount of the lettuce and oh my gosh, I put so much stuff in there. I had lettuce, and my stomach's starting to growl now, lettuce and bell peppers and celery and parsley and cilantro and everything I could think of. And then I put my sauteed mushrooms on there, and then smothered them with a ridiculous amount of green chili, because there's just something about salad and green chili. It's almost like a dressing to me. I love green chili, so it was amazing. And I only put a tiny little, I'm not kidding, like even a pinch of cheese on there, just so my mind says, okay, you're getting cheese, you don't need any more cheese, you're fine, you have cheese. And that's how I'm slowly getting away from the cheese too. I'm trying to trick my mind into thinking you're getting it, so it's fine. And so I just put this little tiny pinch of cheese on there. And it was amazing. It was so good. And granted, it wasn't as good as the chicken chimichanga, but it was so good. I would have it again now if I could, but I don't have any more salad at this moment. So, but it was really good. So that's what I do. You have to really set out things in advance. If you know your family's having corn dogs for dinner, you have to come up with something else that's just as satisfying and that you love. If you love, like me, green chili, and I love the whole green chilies in the can, I can, saute and just heat them up in a pan, and I can eat 6 or 8 or 9 or 10 at a sitting and be totally satisfied with that as my meal. And that's, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Not to do every single day for every single meal, but there's nothing wrong with that. So those are the types of things that I'm doing. Anyhow, yeah, so I had to get away from the stomach ache. And I've been adding in more fruit. So I've only been a vegetarian for a week, and it hasn't been easy. My husband made biscuits and gravy the other night for dinner, and it smelled so good, and I had a bite of it though, and it didn't taste right. Well, I guess I've been a vegetarian for a week and like 3 or 4 days, if you want to be technical, but it didn't taste good at all. So anyways, my whole point is I want to chronicle this and have it, videoed and help anybody else, or, hear from you guys how your journey is going. So that's why I'm doing the video vlog. And maybe some other people will have some great tips and pointers out there for me as well. So also, before I went all the way meat-free, I've been gluten-free. I've been gluten intolerant. I'll get to that. But I did a 3-day juice fast, and I did it because I was still having really bad cravings for meat, even though it was making me sick and bloated, and my digestion is like at a standstill. And so I did a 3-day juice fast, and it was, I want to say awful, because it was. I had the worst headache ever. I wasn't necessarily hungry because I had all this stuff that was just sitting there and stagnant in my colon. So I wasn't necessarily hungry, but I had the worst, I think it was detox headache ever. Oh my gosh. It was terrible. But that happened on day 3, and I was so glad to get day 3 done and then just start having some other food and stuff in there. But my stomach just felt heavy and full even in the morning. Like my food was just not digesting right. So that's why I did the 3-day juice fast. My goal is to transition into becoming a vegan, but like I said, I'm still having an issue with Parmesan cheese. So and the other cheese. I love to see the melted cheese on there, especially pizza. Gosh, it's just, how do you do pizza without cheese? I don't know, but I'm going to try and find out. And also gluten-free pizza. That's big too. And also I need things to be decently quick because I work. I have 3 kids. I have one daughter who's getting ready to graduate, and my son will be turning 16 soon, and I homeschool him. And then we have our little baby who will be a year old in July. And so we've got graduations, we've got birthdays, and I work, and life is busy, so I understand life. And it's so funny when people try and tell you a recipe for like a gluten-free crust, and they're like, okay, so it's this 3-hour process. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. That's not realistic for me. So if you have any 3-hour gluten-free crust recipes, please don't send them my way. Yeah, because it's not realistic for me. I don't want to have to spend 3 hours making something that I can't have for another hour and a half because it's got to cook. So, anyways, I've never been a big consumer of milk or yogurt or butter or cream cheese or anything like that. Mostly I just like the melty cheese on whatever my food is, and Parmesan cheese. So cutting that stuff out hasn't been too bad. And I'm not too bad with the melty cheese now. I can get away with just a pinch of cheese, and my mind says, okay, it's fine. But the Parmesan cheese, I like to have that on spaghetti and lasagna and all those Italian things. So I think my plan is to do different meals and not so many Italian meals for a while until I can get past the Parmesan cheese thing. And then gluten, like I said, I've been gluten intolerant. I kind of found out from my mom years ago, so I cut way back on the gluten, and I was still having digestion issues and stuff, but it wasn't too bad, and gluten was still not really a thing yet, and so you couldn't find gluten-free bread or hamburger buns or cereal or anything like that, so I just had to cut it out slowly. And then in 2013, we decided to have another baby because our oldest 2 are getting older and they're going to be gone soon, and we weren't done. We've had so much fun raising our kids, and we didn't want that journey to be over, so we decided to have another baby. And unfortunately, we suffered 2 very physically and emotionally devastating miscarriages, and that was really hard. So, and of course, doctors can never tell you why a miscarriage happens, and it's actually very common, more common than anybody realizes, definitely more common than I realized until it happened to me. I didn't realize, how common it was. So I decided from then on that I didn't know if gluten had anything to do with it, and I still don't get me wrong, but I didn't want any doubt in my mind that gluten played any part of it. So I got rid of every gluten thing from my diet completely, totally, absolutely. And I don't know, but also I started juicing from home, making fresh juice with a juicer every morning with my breakfast and with my lunch, not just a juicing diet, but with my breakfast and with my lunch, and minus the gluten. And within 4 months we were expecting again, and our little baby T was born last July in 2014, and so healthy. She was born pink, not blue, not purple, not purplish pink. I mean, absolutely perfect pink. Like she had been here for a month already, and within a couple hours her skin was, perfect complexion. She was olive and pink rosy cheeks, and just the doctors were amazed by how healthy pink she was. And my doctor just kept oohing and ahhing over her umbilical cord. It was really weird, but he couldn't get over the fact how healthy her umbilical cord was. And that's gotta, be from getting rid of the gluten, and I'm sure also all that juice that I was taking in is green juice. So, but I wanted to be so healthy, and we did. We were successful. Yay! So, anyways, I want to share my transition recipes. Like I just shared with you that. Instead of having the smothered chicken chimichangas, I made the smothered mushroom plate. And so, I figured I'd share those recipes with you guys, and you could share any with me as well. I'll make it, and you can see it, and it really was so good. Because you've got to come up with things that you can substitute for those things that you love. Otherwise, you cave in and then go on a big binge. That's what used to happen to me. But I slowly started cutting these things out. And slow and steady is the key. And not to beat yourself up. If you do stop by Taco Bell, don't beat yourself up. So what? You had a burrito. It's okay. Move on. Learning from your mistakes. Just move on. Move forward. The big thing, like I said, is weight loss. Everybody wants to know, how much weight can I lose becoming a vegetarian and a vegan? And let's be honest, of course, I've Googled that myself. So I'll talk about oh wow, the wind's starting to blow. It's supposed to be 40-mile-an-hour winds today, so there it comes. Anyways, I'll tell you about my, weight loss or whatever, and that's not what I'm going for. What I'm going for is more energy, to feel lighter. I don't know if you guys feel heavy. I just feel heavy. It's not that I'm technically heavy, but I feel heavy. It feels like it's hard for me to move, and some of that is also flexibility issues, so I need to start stretching too. But, and also a big one is the budget. How can I eat healthy on a budget? Healthy food's so expensive. So I'll show you what I've been doing, and I haven't been clipping coupons because, like I said, I don't have time to do that. So, and really to make coupon clipping work, you've got to get like 12 newspapers. And I don't see the point in buying a paper or 12 papers, just for the coupons. Then you've spent $20 on the paper, and it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. So I don't do that. So I'll share that with you guys, and you can share your tips and stuff with me, hopefully. And then just to, let you know where I'm starting out at. I started out a few weeks ago. Well, actually, I tried the 21-day fix starting back in, I think it was January. And calorie restriction, and I definitely don't believe in that either. And it was with the right diet, let me add. I was hungry quite often, even though I could only eat so many. They give you containers. I would eat all of my containers, and I was still hungry. And I don't know how that worked, but I was still hungry, and I would eat my containers and drink all my water. And I was really disappointed in that I was still hungry. A lot of people say, oh yeah, you're never hungry because you get to eat so much. I was still hungry. And in that whole 21 days, I lost a whopping 2 pounds. And that was doing all the exercise, the 30-minute exercises every single day, 6 days a week, with a kind of a yoga or Pilates day on Sunday. And then, so yeah, I lost a whopping 2 pounds. And so that was really disheartening and depressing for me. I thought for sure it would be great. And then, like, it recommends you up to 2 workouts, like starting on day 15 through day 21. You do one in the morning and then one in the evening or in the afternoon or whatever. And I did that. Still, only lost 2 pounds. I did everything by the book, and I only lost 2 pounds. So that for me was really depressing. Now for some people, I'm sure it works. You don't have to tell me, oh, I did that and it worked for me. That's great. It just didn't work for me, is all I'm saying. So to me, that was very disheartening. And I thought I was going to get healthy that way. And that's when I started noticing that even when I had my snack of chicken or whatever, that I kept getting those stomach aches. And I thought for a little bit that they were side aches from all the exercise, but it was stomach aches from the meat. Probably because my digestion isn't working properly and it's having a hard time digesting all that meat is probably why I'm getting the stomach aches and indigestion. I don't have acid reflux, thankfully, or heartburn, so that's awesome. But anyways, I'm very petite. I'm only about 5'1", and I have very small bones, very tiny frame, just a little tiny little thing I am. And so my ideal weight, the BMI index, and from my doctor and all these things, and what feels comfortable in my own skin and in my body, I should be anywhere between 100 and 107 pounds. Somewhere in that area. And of course some days it's going to be more because of water weight or retention or whatever, but I should be somewhere in there. I just want to feel good, I just want to feel comfortable and able to move and not be so tired and sluggish. And I must say that I am getting much more energy. Like I used to wake up in the mornings at get 8 hours of sleep wasn't enough, 9 hours of sleep wasn't enough, 10 hours of sleep, okay, fine, but then I would be up for 2 hours and then I would be ready for a nap. And so far that has been one of the best side effects of my vegetarian diet, is that I have more energy. In the afternoon, yes, I do get a little kind of drowsy, but it's not to the point where I could actually lay down and sleep. So that is a big plus and a big motivating factor for me, because like I said, I'm busy, I have stuff to do, I don't have time to lay down and take a nap. So right now, I lost the 2 pounds from the 21-day fix, and I lost, I'm 116 now. Started out at 120 and 116 now. So I lost the 2 pounds from the 21-day fix, and I lost 2 pounds during my 3-day juice fast, which again isn't why I did it, but that was awesome. I'll take 2 pounds. But the really cool thing about that is, since I'm eating vegetarian plant-based diet now, I'm still at 116. I got to keep those 4 pounds that I lost. I didn't regain those 2 pounds that I lost on my juice fast because I'm not eating that garbage food. I didn't go on a juice fast and then go back to eating the way I was. So that's key to a juice fast. If you're going to do a juice fast for weight loss, that's fine, but be prepared to change your diet lifestyle when the juice fast is over, because otherwise you will gain all that weight back, and that's no fun. But anyways, I call my lovely, we'll just say my extra 10 pounds. How about that? My extra 10 pounds, I call those my depression pounds, because I put on the weight from the 2 pregnancies, and then of course I put on weight after I lost the babies, because that's what I did. Of course, I turned to food for comfort. So I put some weight on from that. But I like to think that with baby T, I mean, I had the ideal pregnancy. I only gained 24 pounds with her, and I'm sure that was because I was eating extremely healthy. My meat was limited then because it didn't, it still upset my stomach, which I didn't realize until, hindsight's 20/20. But, so yeah, my pregnancy was ideal, and I only gained 24 pounds with her, which was the perfect amount. And of course, right after she was born, I was down to 113 pounds within that first 2 weeks after she was born. And so, yeah, down to 113, and then guess what happened? Taco Bell happened. And I went on a Taco Bell binge and a gluten binge because I totally was hungry for some pizza. Oh, I had to have pizza. I did. I had pizza in the hospital. I had my husband bring in some pizza. Actually, he brought me in a pizza sandwich from Which Wich, and it was amazing. It was good. I'm going to have to find a substitute for that because that's awesome. I love my marinara sauce. So anyways, clean eating, healthy eating, vegetarian, vegan, whatever. So I just want to share my journey with you guys, and I hope you can share yours with me. I will be uploading more videos on how my journey's going, how the weight loss is going, my budgeting tips for eating on a budget, and also sharing some recipes with you guys. And I hope you join me on this journey, because I would like to help be a part of keeping America's farmers employed. We need them. They're awesome. So thank a farmer, eat a salad, and I will talk to you hopefully tomorrow. Bye, guys.